Hello there, this is Three of Spades. Happy 4th of July. And as I promised a few devlogs ago, I've got a rework to an absolute ton of guns. And as you can see here on screen, I've also got a lot of test subjects here to test them out on. And if the performance is a little bit iffy, then that would be why. Let's get started. So, what I've done is I've spent a good portion of time here going through and doing a bunch of tuning to the guns. Not all of them just yet, but there's going to be some new ones in here that you haven't seen yet, as well as some variants of weapons that have been tinkered and modified with entirely. Oh yeah, lovely. And the volume's on it too, so let me just... Yeah, that didn't stop it. There we go. And just for the sake of this, I'm going to set that to low. Oh, lovely. Shaders are compiling. Love it when Game Guru, or not fucking Game Guru, Unreal does that. Low settings look kind of shitty, huh? Well, let's set this to high. There we go. Alright, so here's our guns. Lot of guns. So first one I'm going to start out with is the Wild West. This is a totally new gun that I've added in. I'm going to get the Mars phone. Nope, I meant to get the Mars phone. There we go. Still need to work on where some of these are placed, but this here is a phone gun. This is a double-barreled shotgun. And just like the first game, when you shoot the guns, they do not auto-reload. So if you click, you're not going to auto-reload. You have to reload to reload. It's one element from the first game that I've kept. But as you can see, this is almost trying to look as if it's a cell phone, but also a gun. I need to add a rail to it. But yeah. Let me see here. I'm going to switch that out for the Patriot. I think, knowing how many zombies are on screen, you know exactly what I'm going to do. God bless the USA. And there we go. Oh yeah. Now, I didn't have fireworks today, but, you know, I do now. And this is why I'm fucking around with adding weapon variants and all kinds of just stuff you pick up off the ground, as opposed to doing Call of Duty's loadout system, because this is just infinitely more fun to fuck around with, so... The Patriot here is a 200-round belt-fed light machine gun with the Stars and Stripes flag of the United States of America, alright? And it's an absolute monster that has an extremely hilariously fast reload speed. Because this is a gun you would get in, like, playing way too much of the game or something fun like that. The Wild West is like a two-shotter, but both barrels kill in one shot. And of course I have to not just have the American light machine gun, but the American M4A1 assault rifle. And to demonstrate, I'm going to use Rodney here and grab the insta-kill. It has a suppressor. And that's why I fucking love messing around with this cool ass kit and doing some other cool shit on Unreal. I would grab that nuke, but the problem is I kind of have to show off the guns, so I have to refrain from not doing that right now. But I've also got AK-47 Soviet steel, or instead of wood, it's steel. This is a sequel to the rusty Soviet rifle in the first game. Those of you remember, the people who did play it really liked the AKs, so obviously I've got to have AK variants, because why the hell wouldn't I? And it has the rail. I know some people love the rail, some people don't. I like the rail. So, rail it is. Here's the infection. This is a laser gun that shoots fucking radioactive bullets. And I've got another gun here, which is the Commie Gold. And this is the multiplayer version of Greed is Good. And I'll show you Greed is Good in the Zombies mode, which is a zombie weapon. I did show off that map and the stuff in it, obviously. Crank that shit. I didn't show all of the guns off, but here we are now. The crank that shit. It makes you fast as fuck. Has like 75 bullets. And it shoots fucking dubstep. Because what silly ass zombie game is complete without a dubstep neon laser gun? Now there are going to be silly guns throughout here, but I mean obviously they're just like placed on the map, so you still have fair starts and whatever. Kind of like Halo. It's one thing I really liked about Halo 5, but they didn't have it in a PC games. So I thought to myself, well, I really like that variant system that 343 did, but I'd like to see it in another game. And years passed and nobody gave a shit, so alright, up to me I guess. This here is the auto cleaner. It's like a full auto Glock basically mixed with a Beretta. There's a bunch of targets over there. I think it'd be great for shooting. Over here, can shoot these. I don't really care if I kill the civilians. Fucking kill them all in the name of democracy. But let me grab the Allen here. The Allen is a double-barreled shotgun that has 10 shells because fuck it. And just for the sake of demonstration here, I don't really care about the score, just showing off the guns. And there we go. Does it make sense that you can shoot 10 times with a fucking shotgun? No. Not with this one, but I don't really care, so fuck it. So there's another range there. I'm gonna head over here. Drop the Patriot. You do have to have one gun with you at least. So this is the base gun, it's the coach gun. That is the name of it, so I'm gonna call it what it is. And this here is what I call the Bandit, which is not long range, but it has a sight and a grip, so lower recoil, and you can see where you're shooting, so it's still a close range gun. But if I grab the Assassin, this one's a suppressed one, also short range, but low recoil. We compare that to the coach gun. See? Then we aim down the sight. And all the guns have different stats. So, oh yeah, the Assassin's also fast. Some of these guns make you fast, some of them have low recoil, some of them you aim down the sight, you can move quick. Cool shit like that. Here's the Super Slug. And yeah, double barrel does have slug shots, and both shots kill like boom, boom. I am going to be seeing if I could add some of these guns to the mystery box in the game. Set you over there, Alan. Here's the Slug. As you can see, the scope isn't quite as good. But, let me... I don't know if I've shown off the Bandit. No, I think I have. The Bandit is basically a camoed gun with, like, the other shit, like the grip and whatnot. Alright, so here we have the Silver Stallion. It has 10 shots as well, but it deals a fuckload of damage. So it doesn't have much in reserve ammo. This is basically one of the good guns you'd get in, like, zombies if you do, like, an Easter egg or something, but I figured you'd get that after probably, like, surviving a long time. Or something of that regard. Not sure exactly yet, but it's a work in progress, so I'll figure it out. This here is the airplane mode. They all have unique names. That's what I've decided on. So this is the terror phone. Basically, it's a gun that's kind of like a phone. I was showing off the other one earlier, but that's the base one. This here is the blue one with a sniper. And as you can see, it's kind of like a scoped pistol. Since there isn't like a revolver, I figured, you know, how many games have a gun that's a phone? Probably not very many. So there's some other variants of it. This is the pink guy, in honor of George Miller, Filthy Frank, of course, had to do a pink one. The pink guy. This here is the end of life. It's a 2-burst. So it shoots 2 at a time. But it has a sight as well. So there's a silenced one, the Terror Phone S. Drop the slug here. The pink guy. Let me switch it for the direct line. So the direct line is the gold one, and the gold one doesn't increase your movement speed, but it does deal a fucking shitload of damage. As you can see, it kills them in one shot. Now in this case, I got the Terror Phone S. Now the Terror Phone S isn't particularly good with long range, unless you shoot him in the head, and you get a multiplier. So I'm going to put that on the ground. I'm going to get this one. Drop the direct line here. If you know that the spades are the swords of a soldier, you'll know the clubs are weapons of war. So there's not a Dragunov, but I got the clubs for you. This is the Spetsnaz rifle. I figured that'd be pretty cool as well. You get the Manta Ray. So there are guns that don't look too silly. Like this does look a little silly, but it's next to guns that look perfectly normal, like this. If you saw this in a fucking war zone, you wouldn't really question it too much. I mean, versus something kind of like, you know, this, which is a little out there, but, you know, I figured it'd be fun. So it's a burst gun. I just had fun making some silly looking guns. Not too silly as to, you know, go fucking completely Fortnite mode or some other, you know, current day hip hop, fucking progressive, whatever the hell they want to call it. Basically not looking to do what most of these other games are doing. I'm just trying to make a fun game. So let me restart it here. And then I'm going to have some more test subjects to shoot. Show off some more guns. But now the zombie army base is finished. So basically, that whole map, I did its final lighting pass, fixed those issues that I saw in the last DevLog. I think I've shown the cleaner. I gotta remember which one I showed here. I don't think I showed these pistols. I mean, I showed the cleaner and the auto cleaner, I'm fairly sure, but you can see it's got 17 bullets, and that's pretty cool. So there, I shoot them, they die. So this is the monster. I'm gonna show you some other sniper rifles. The nuclear rifle. It's powered by a fucking nuked bomb that they drop. which I figured would be pretty cool in-world storytelling as well as just being, you know, wacky as shit, but also keeping in line with the spooky tones. So this is the monster. Absolutely annihilated them. You can see the resemblance, but it's a little silly. It is a little arcadey, but not too arcadey and not too silly as to detract from the overall presentation. This here is the king, and the gist with all these weapons is there's some different variants of them with skins and with stats. Now the king is more of a mid-range anti-armor rifle as opposed to a long-range one, say like the beast, or actually like say like, you know, the monster or the nuclear rifle. I kind of got the idea from Halo 5 or Garden Warfare or Pixel Gun, because I thought they did it particularly well, where you are able to have like a bunch of weapons, but you also have different reskins of said weapons. So that way you're able to do other stuff like this one. This is the anti-armor rifle light, so it doesn't have a scope, but it also allows you to move faster and doesn't deal as much damage. But that's the thing with it. When you aim, you kind of have to take a guess where they are. So every gun has benefits and trade-offs. Like this is the death from afar. So I've made quite a few cool guns here. I'm gonna set fucking King over there. He'll wonder what's for dinner later. But let me grab the anti-armor rifle. And there we go. We take shots at him. This is the Snowblind. It's got about 10 bullets, but as you can see, the recoil is all over the damn place. And the sight is also just a normal red dot. So this here is Feeling Lucky Punk. And that costs a lot of money. And I cannot afford it. Damn. So the camo cleaner is a burst as well. It's a 2-shot burst. Let me grab the concealed cleaner. This is like a makeshift SMG, basically, for the hitmen. And I figured that'd be pretty cool. This is the knife. This is also the blender. So every gun looks somewhat distinct. You could tell at a glance which is which, roughly speaking. This is the true player. This is the professional. Like makeshift weapons as well as proper military ones throughout, and also just a few silly ones in there because it's a video game, so why not? So here's the silent cleaner. This is the Cold World. We got the number of lovely guns and weapons, so yeah. Still gonna be a work in progress. There's gonna be a few more. Like for instance, here's the Lion. This is, I've already shown the Patriot. Here's the Meat Grinder. It's a big light machine gun, but it's all red. So no need to clean it when you kill a bunch of bad guys. This is the Lion. Deals an absolute ton of damage. I mean, obviously most of the light machine guns are going to, but... And then there's the Heat Wave. There's also the big gun. And that's what I've decided to call it. I've gone in and renamed a lot of the weapons, added some actual, you know, custom stuff to them. Like this is the Bullet Magnet. This one has 300 ammo. Barely any recoil. But you're super slow. That's the trade-off. I still need to go in and do the AA-12s and other weapons. Like this one I already did forever ago. I just need to go in and properly redo the rest. This one I've renamed to the SWAT SMG. And as you can see, it's pretty good. But yeah, you'll start, I think, mostly with just the SMG is what I'm calling it now. And as you can see, the SMG actually has, like, increase to the speed with the aiming down the sight. So now there's a decent variety of weapons. They're all kind of crazy or normal, and they're all just like coexisting. I figured that'd be pretty cool. Like, you can have some crazy shit in a game where the zombies explode upon being shot in the head violently, so figured I'd slightly lean into it, but not too much to where it gets weird. Kind of like Fortnite or Roblox or whatever the fuck else these companies like to do, so. I'm going to load the zombie army base, and I'm going to show you the lighting on it. Alright, good. Still recording. Come on, Unreal. Happy 4th of July. There we go. Much better. So, you can see it in action here. And the frame rate is a lot smoother, so that's awesome. This whole place has a lot more contrast between the actual lights and the surrounding area too. It looks a lot more properly on fire. I've finished up the gas station here. I've put a wall by. You can get the cha-ching for 3,000. Some freezers and obviously proper fire safety instructions. Because, you know, we have to be compliant with all federal regulations, especially in the zombie apocalypse. No, who gives a fuck? Anyway, oh, we got the destroyed Williams Corner Shop here. The lighting is a lot better. I've added some soda machines and shelves, and there's some health kits, and the chairs are on the tables. Back here, there's also a gun you can buy, hot garbage for $200. So, latest Nintendo game. Go over here. We're going to see over at the army base. The army base is also now complete. I've added some stuff in here, which before was just empty. It's proper lights. It's like a repair kind of garage for the trucks. There's a communications satellite, the radar. This is also another, like, power junction. They're working on breaker boxes. Over here is some barracks that are now on fire. This truck's been turned over. And these are also barracks that have been set on fire with TVs and other blood and haunted shit in there. So if you go in the hospital now just has a bunch of med kits laying around, like a knocked over table, some beds, TVs, like a big smear on the ground, like someone was taken, thrown on the bed, dragged across here. Now there ain't much left of them. It's like some spooky haunted fucking conjuring shit. I don't know. Could have been Elma, but you never know. Not Elma, fucking Alma. That girl from Fear. But yeah. Zombies want to kill me. I'm gonna see if I can try to not let that happen. But this map's pretty much complete. Did a lighting pass. Made that blue now. so it kind of contrasts a lot better. This here is obviously got a hospital sign on it. You go over here, you don't regenerate health in the zombies mode, but you do in the PvP. So you can go over here. You can see all of this and whatever else. Now the lighting really pops, I think, because before it was a bit too bright. And obviously those can still go to hell. But, yeah, pretty awesome stuff. I'm going to show you the inside of the store too. And as you can see, the lights and the shadows really bounce around in here. It's pretty awesome. In the recorder, I'm getting above 100 frames on average. Usually about like 110, 120, so that's a pretty good sign. But I'm sure when the game comes around to playable demo, you can test it for yourself. But yeah, I'm really trying to see what I can and can't do with Unreal Engine 4 here. I know a lot of people as of late, especially big channels like Thread Interactive, have been pretty critical of Unreal Engine, but I think the problem really doesn't come down so much to the tool as the shitty people who use it, and the new one not being particularly as good as 4, when you could always just go back to use Unreal Engine 4 instead of maybe crowdfunding some guy's engine or something. That way you could just have a better tool for free. But no, we have to use the new thing, because bigger number better, right? No, not true. Just use what's better for you and whatever you're doing, because that would end up with a better game in the long run if you don't just brute force your game into what other people want it to think, you know, whatever other people want you to make it into, basically. If that makes sense. Like, hey, you know, sometimes I don't know if we've learned anything from the Xbox One or the Silent Hill HD collection, but the newest version of a thing is not always the best. Windows 11, Windows 8, Windows 10 as well. Like, if I had the ability to, I'd probably still be using Windows 7. So that goes to show a lot, because we really haven't been progressing forward. In fact, we've kind of been regressing a lot in technology. So if an older method can just be kind of made to look better, then I don't see why you wouldn't use it and slightly improve that, because it'd look and run a lot better like this. Hell, that's what I did. I basically just said, yeah, I've seen like Gears of War 2 and other Army games and the way they looked, and I figured, well, you know, I can probably make them look even better, because all those techniques and mechanics were made with an Xbox 360 in mind, and I don't see them getting poorly aged anytime soon. Like, the technology of the time is actually quite astonishing, and really, if not for some slight gaps in the presentation, mostly to do with like just the limits of the hardware and like how good you can make your textures and shaders look, especially. Really all you'd need to do is, I think for most games, especially in the 2010s, just get an upscaler, slightly increase the resolution of some textures, and that you'd pretty much be set, because they have really good lighting. But the textures are often just kind of all over the place. Meanwhile, you could just use some of those same ideologies, like, you know, you want to make sure your game can run on a shitty computer, so that way your game runs excellent on a really high-end one. Like, I'm using a GTX Titan XP, which isn't shitty by any margin, but it's about, I want to say 8 years old, so 2017, and it's the collector's edition, so it's a Star Wars card, but that can run this game at well above 100 frames a second, give or take. So, yeah, pretty awesome. Just wanted to show this off. There's also some other, cool stuff in this map, but you'll get to play it when you do. So, Thanks for watching, and happy 4th of July. Just to shake things up this time, I'm not going to actually end it by committing seppuku. Anyway, take care, and God bless America.